How long does it take to get residency in Spain? This is perhaps one of the most common questions that we get asked by our clients who are in the process of moving to Spain, establishing themselves in the country, and are having doubts about what happens when I prepare all my documents and I submit my application. How much time do I need to wait? What happens in the meantime? Can I do anything to speed the process up? And most importantly, what happens if after the given deadline I do not receive any answer from the Spanish authorities? All the answers to those questions in today's video. Hello everyone, my name is Gerard, I'm the marketing responsible at immigrationspain.es, and in today's video we're tackling an issue that's generating tons of doubts for foreigners who are wishing to move to Spain, which is how much time do I need to wait for my immigration application to be processed? How much time do I need to wait to get a final answer and get my Spanish residency approved? This is very important because, as you'll see, the answer depends. There's no clear answer here. We must understand which is your case, but we're going to analyze different conditioners that are going to affect the time that you'll have to wait until you get a resolution. But before diving into the content, remember that if you haven't done so, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel. Why? Because now we're in a period of a lot of news, a lot of updates. We are going to say goodbye to the golden visa. We don't know the mass regularization of foreigners, the new immigration update that's going to come in the upcoming month. So in order to be up to date with all those news and updates, make sure to subscribe. So moving on to the content, the first thing that we must understand is which are those conditioners, what's going to affect the time that I'm going to wait for my immigration application. Well, here we find two different factors that we should consider. The first factor is the type of residence permit that you are applying for. Why? Because different residence permits are managed by different institutions, and those different institutions have their own rules, and that means that the waiting time is different. That's something that we're going to explore. We're going to classify permits into different blocks and explore the exact time for each of them. So that's the first thing that's going to condition the time that you'll need to wait, which permit are you actually applying for, and second, the region in Spain where you're located or where you're submitting your application at. Why? Well, because it's not the same submitting an immigration application in Barcelona or Madrid, cities that even though they have more resources, there are more foreigners, so immigration offices are more saturated than if you go to any village in the north or in the south of Spain where there are much less foreigners. So this is also going to affect the time that it takes to get an immigration resolution, and we're also going to explore this. So let's divide it into different blocks, and the first block is your application under the general regime, which is if you apply for a regular work permit, for a student visa, family reunification, or any other related permit. All those permits go under the general immigration regime in Spain and are handled by the immigration office. Here, what's the time that it takes to obtain a resolution? Well, the law says that the immigration authorities have 3 months to issue a response. It's important to consider those 3 months because that's the allowed time, but it's also important to tie it to a concept which is administrative silence. Why? Because in this case, as we're talking about an initial residency application, if after those 3 months you did not get any notification, any resolution, in theory, by law, your application would be rejected due to negative administrative silence. Nevertheless, and that's why it's very important to understand this concept, what happens many times in immigration offices that are packed, that are saturated, is that foreigners, after those 3 months, which in theory their application should be denied, received a positive application at month number 4 or 5. Why? Because the immigration office was too overloaded with work and could not handle that specific application in time. So it's important to consider that permits under the general immigration regime, they take 3 months to obtain a resolution. In theory, in principle, negative administrative silence apply, but it's very common to see applications which are approved at month number 4 or number 5. How do we know that? Well, here we would need to go to the detail to each region in Spain, because as we've said, that changes everything. So our recommendation, ask an immigration lawyer what's the time frame for each of the regions. Hey, I'm going to apply in Barcelona for this specific permit. How long is the immigration office taking? And that answer will vary depending on if you apply in Barcelona, in Madrid, or any other city, and it also can vary depending on the specific residence permit. So that's why it's better to analyze in your particular situation how long it will take. But generally speaking, bear in mind a time frame of 3, 4, or even 5 months. Block number 2, let's say you're applying for an entrepreneur visa, digital nomad visa, golden visa, highly qualified visa, any permit under the entrepreneur's law, which is law 14/2013, is going to be managed, handled not by the immigration office, but by the UGE, the Unidad de Grandes Empresas. This institution offers great advantages. Why? Because instead of 3 months, now law states that they have a maximum of 20 labor days to issue a response. And not only that, if after those 20 labor days you haven't received any notification, your application is considered approved. This is different as the case that we saw before, approved due to positive administrative silence. So much faster. And second benefit is it does not depend on the region where you're at. Why? Because we're talking about 20 labor days, which is quite fast, and no response means a positive application. So if you're applying for any of those permits under the entrepreneur's law, bear in mind that you'll enjoy this great advantage, apart from, of course, being able to apply directly from Spain as a tourist. And the third case, which is an extra that we've included in this video, is everything that has to do with Spanish nationality. Why? Because it's another immigration procedure that many foreigners carry out in Spain, and here we're not talking about the immigration office, we're not talking about the UGE, but we're talking about the Ministry of Justice. This institution is the one who is going to lead the process of handling applications. In this case, in order to obtain Spanish nationality, you'll have to wait 1 year. That, again, is what law establishes. At our office, and especially now recently, we've seen applications. This month we've received several applications in just 2.5 months. Is this the norm? No, but it's an indication that things can be much faster for your case. It's not as before, where foreigners have to wait 2, 3, even 4 years. Nowadays, even though the law states that the Ministry of Justice has 1 year to issue a response, we've seen applications go much faster. So now is the perfect time to submit your nationality application in Spain. And finally, maybe answering the question, can I do anything while I'm waiting for an immigration application, no matter the residency I'm applying for? Can I do something? I need to wait 3, 4, 5 months. What do I do in the meantime? Well, the answer is no, you cannot do anything once you submit your application. It's up to the institution who is going to handle it, the immigration office, the UGE, who is going to take the time that they need, and you cannot do anything during that time frame. But something that you can actually do is not during the application, not after submitting all your documents, but before that happens. Why? Because properly preparing your immigration file, making sure that you're meeting all requirements and that you're demonstrating that through the correct documents, that you're not missing any document, that's key, that's crucial for a faster resolution and for a successful one. And for that, of course, it's crucial to rely on an expert immigration lawyer. And Immigration Spain, we are more than happy to help you. We've been working with foreigners from all around the world for more than 10 years now. And if you need help with your immigration application, you just need legal advice, legal assistance, hey, which is the right option for me, we are here to help you. You just need to send us an email at immigrationspain.es and we'll start as soon as possible. Of course, and remember, if you haven't done so, subscribe to our YouTube channel and see you in the next one.